The biggest buzzword in tech for the last about 2 years or so has been artificial intelligence. And with so many innovations coming up, the dynamics are changing so fast that we are unable to keep track of. Let's talk about Agentic AI in this premiere episode of Season 4 on Techover. My name is Brian Jojotieno. It's good to see you with fresh episodes of Techover on NTV, Africa's biggest tech conversation show. And as always, first off, let's do the tech news of the week. German multinational engineering and technology company Bosch now wants to partner with all the 345 TVET institutions in the country to support technical skills uptake. Speaking at the opening of Bosch Service Center in Nairobi, the company's officials expressed their keen support for powering technical skills in Kenya to meet market demands and improve employability of the youth.
Training for us is really important, and we're not just here to sell the tools. So we've embarked on a training mission in our TVET institutions, in our artisan space, and we believe that we need to create really the right knowledge and skills through product demonstrations so that we can offer the right solutions for our partners.
Service centers means that we want to service our users to help them having tools which are get repaired. Power tools are very important investment for some users, and they are lasting for long, but they need to be maintained. And it is key to have very qualitative service. Service is a key for a long life of a tool.
We are very appreciative of Bosch for thinking about introducing a service center in Nairobi. This will promote the quality of work that is being done here. And as TVET Authority, we are very much willing to partner with them, especially on the offering of after-sale service, or what we are calling a pre-sale service, because we have 345 TVET institutions spread across the country. We can partner with Bosch so that we can be able to offer the service across the country.
Kenya's employment market demands now incline towards skill-based talent and manpower, and Bosch says it's keen to match the talent base by providing an opportunity for training the youth. The launch of this service center also comes at a time when the company is keen on supporting its existing clients with maintenance services. The facility will offer diagnostics, repairs, maintenance for Bosch appliances and tools, boosting efficiency and convenience for Kenyan consumers while reinforcing the brand's commitment to quality service. Very well, then I have just a guest to speak about this Agentic AI with me. Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for speaking to us. Allow me to give you a moment to introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Veerakumar. I work for Zoho. I take care of East Africa for Zoho.
Just as I mentioned in my intro, we've had buzzwords about artificial intelligence. Too many conferences made, a lot of resolutions, a lot of adoptions. But now there is what we call Agentic AI. How different is it from the AI that we know?
Okay, Agentic AI is like, I would put that way, like he's the best teammate that you can ever have it. It's like, say for example, you are in a sales team, right? And then you are the sales guy, and then you want to make calls on a particular time. You want to follow up with your customers on a specific time. Now this Agentic AI, he can identify different customers who's likely to buy within next 2-3 weeks. And then he will also identify the likely time at which you can call them or you can mail them. And also you can give them an idea of what you want to write to them. You can schedule, and then they can write the mail for you. So it's more like he's a good assistant. He can do all the work without even you telling them, regularly.
Great. How is Agentic AI employed in real life application?
I'll take an example of healthcare industry for this specific thing. Say doctors nowadays diagnose based on the symptoms, right? They input the symptoms and then they diagnose, okay, fine, probably this is ABC disease, and then this is the recommended medicine, or this is the recommended the period that you have to take this medicine, and so on. But give it to an AI. So give them that these are the symptoms, and you are living in this. These are the patient details. He is 40 years old, and then he have been living in this particular area of Kenya, and so on. Now the AI can give you more details, like this is a particular disease that has come in like 20 years before. in the coastal region. So probably if he's from coastal or he has traveled to coast, he has more chance of getting this. And then with the history of his kind of the medical history, probably the recommended medicine would be not the one the doctor said, maybe it's combo of different medicines and so on. And it can also recommend how long he has to take and so on. So it's more like the doctors might be able to identify and then they can recommend, but this checks multiple factors, not just the the patient history or not just the disease within the region. It compares all those things and then throws out, give us multiple options.
Why should Kenyans, for example, care for this agentic AI in a country where there is, yes, some good adoption of technology, but sharp disparity in terms of adoption?
For the same reason that you have said, that there is it's not parity. There is a big disparity between the let's take in terms of businesses, the small. There are a lot of small SMEs, small and medium industry, entrepreneurs, and then also there are big enterprises. Big enterprises, when it comes to bankers and so on, they have enough budget to make. When they have already digitalized their operations, and then it is easy for the big enterprises to adopt the AI, whatever comes in, and almost instantly. Now imagine an SME who's like a 5 people team running like 10 different activities like sales, marketing, finance, logistics, payment collection and so on. Now this is where AI can be very helpful. So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm very good at sales, but I'm not so good at finance. So I do my entry and everything. Probably the AI within my finance system will tell me my cash flow is not good, or I have to do more sales, or probably I have to correct my prices and so on. The same goes for my inventory level. Probably it would say you don't have the right stocks, or you are having the wrong stocks, or the replenishment level can be much different than what you are setting right now. So all those can be automatically recommended by AI. Right. So these are the contextual, the AI that is required in our systems, and this can help in multiple ways. So probably let's take a contact center business, right? A lot of our businesses, even up to 40 employees, 50 employees, they still don't have a very good contact center solutions, right? So this, once they adopt an AI, it can throw in right away like, okay, fine, you have got so many inquiries, but you have not attended to all of them, or you have missed out so much of opportunities and so on. In Kenya, again, the social media is big, be it TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and all that. But how many people are ready to adopt all those things? An entrepreneur, probably you look at it, I will better spend my time speaking to my customers, identifying, face to face, than going on online and then doing all that. But with an AI, probably you do a very little work, prepare your slides and stuff, the promotion that you want to put it on the social media, take the help of AI, it can post it on the scheduled time. It can filter the leads, it can give you, with all the inquiries, it can give automated answer and so on. Probably it will give you out of the 100 inquiries, it will give you 10 inquiries that these looks like they are ready to buy. So you are not going to spend the whole day just sending, interactive message with your potential customer and so on. The AI can take care of that.
What role can agentic AI play in improvement of our governance and service delivery?
See, I'll give you, besides the utility and transport, I'll also give you the business sector. I mean, like, let's say the Ministry of Commerce or Ministry of for the businesses. So in utility services, with AI can easily identify the anomalies of usage. Like we keep getting those into the problem of some places not getting water even when water is normally available, right? So those kind of scenarios, the AI can really tell you the anomalies. Okay, it's like normally on an average this particular area is using only, let's say, 100,000 liters, but in the last week it has increased multifold. So those kind of it can give you a warning that there is an anomaly, please go and check. People can go and check. So currently there is no system like that. The same goes for electricity and so on. And of course on the transport as well, it can be, we can streamline a lot the traffic system. The AI can come into traffic management. So it can give you what time do we have heavy traffic. And within, let's say, Nairobi, it can also monitor, once connected and properly set, it can also monitor the traffic jam in, let's say, Karen is so big that let's say the Westlands or Kilimani is going to choke in the next 30 minutes. So we should loosen up this area and so on. So it can really help. And one other area I can give you a real-time example is like, let's say a foreign investor comes to Kenya and then he wants to invest, let's say $1 million. Now imagine a scenario wherein we have a system where I am the investor and then I go and ask, okay, what are the different areas of opportunities where I can invest? Now the system throws up within Kenya, there is, let's say, infrastructure, the roads and stuff. There is, let's say, IT infrastructure, the networking, cabling and so on. and there is, let's say, solar panels and solar power system and so on. And if I'm able to see different sectors, what has been invested in the past 10 years, what kind of returns they have been getting it and so on, then I'll be able to make an easy decision. And also imagine one step forward, okay, I choose, let's say I want to go into solar panel distribution or something on the solar side. Now different, the AI will be able to recommend different approvals required from different government entities, local government or national government, and which department and how do I contact and all that. Imagine that kind of a scenario where an investor comes in, just input something on the e-citizen and he is able to see all this data. Okay. Very much possible.
You understand that in this part of the market, small and medium enterprises are the backbone of this economy, employing over 70% of its young population. And so what would be the role of this agentic AI in small businesses, and how do you make agentic AI affordable to these small and medium enterprises?
One of the data shows that in Kenyan private sector, 90% of the businesses are SMEs. The entrepreneurs, the big enterprises only contribute about 10%. The balance 90% is SMEs. And where we have started as Zoho, we have focused on SMEs, and then we continue to do even today, right? So one of the things that we offer in our business is AI as a contextual intelligence, more than just an artificial intelligence. So you are doing your business. So we have been improving our AI agents to make sure that you get best out of whatever the data you have it, right? And then the most important thing, the word that you have asked about the cost, we have been giving this free of cost for past 10 years. And even going forward, it's going to be part of every system. So the way you mentioned it, like we provide systems to manage every pillars of business, be it finance, be it sales and marketing, be it customer service, HR, collaborated, everything. We have artificial intelligence, inbuilt into every sector. And the most important thing is it has been coming without any extra cost. And then one of our main commitment, as stated by our co-founder, is that we will try and maintain as much as possible to continue this as an add-on service without any extra cost as a feature, not as a separate product or anything. We'll continue to do as a feature. So in this way, everyone has access to the best possible AI for the businesses.
This should be an interesting question. We are still in a world where people think that artificial intelligence is going to steal their jobs. I'd give an example of a personal assistant. They would possibly think that based off of your description of agentic AI, that AI is going to steal their jobs. How do we bridge that gap between skilling and application of this AI to improve efficiency in our daily lives?
Okay, the one understanding that the AI is going to kick out jobs is not really true. Yeah. It's more like the individuals are going to more skilled, or they'll become more productive by using AI. So that's how it's going to be going to go in future. We talked about the personal assistant, right? So the personal assistant in this case has to understand how AI can optimize their work and then give better productivity than what they have been doing it. So it's not going to kick out. Imagine we have the virtual assistants already, and then all these virtual assistants are assisting like tens of hundreds of individuals or individual companies being seated somewhere else. So they can make use of the AI tools to assist more number of people, or much faster than what they have been doing it. So it's not going to replace anyone. It can only be complementing the other human factor. Let's understand that the human factor cannot be removed from our day-to-day life, at least not for foreseeable future.
What are the biggest challenges in adoption of agentic AI in Kenya?
One of the most important thing is the fear of replacement of jobs. So see, we are still talking about, especially with respect to sub-Saharan Africa and Kenya more so, we are still talking about digitalizing our businesses. There are a lot of businesses, they are not even digitalized to a larger extent. Simple factor that I have multiple people, they can do better. No, we say digitalize your business, probably you will increase your productivity and so on. So we have challenges there itself. So adopting AI is going to take more time unless people really understand that it's all about educating the individuals, educating the businesses that AI can only help your productivity, increase your productivity, and not just to replace the employment. I think that is going to be the hardest part, that has been the hardest part so far.
America innovates, China replicates, the European Union regulates, and Africa consumes. Where do you see regulation going with this agentic AI in the country?
Okay, good thing with Kenya I have realized is that for the first time in so many years we have seen guidelines to AI usage within, in governance. There was a policy governance that was done by Philip Tigo, right? But I mean, headed by him, and then it was released sometime last year, I believe, 2023 or something. So there is a broader guidelines. See, one thing is that within Kenya, the guidelines are all about largely about where it can be used, how it can be used, like which industries it should be used and how it can be used, and focused on data privacy and security more than the R&D part itself. If you go through the document, it talks very less about R&D and then more about the governance part of it. I think the R&D will have to come from the private sectors largely, and then again, currently, if you are looking at most of the companies, every company has their which are not doing, which don't have their development center within Kenya. Wherever they have been investing, including Zoho, where we have been investing heavily on infrastructure to build more AI, better AI agents and so forth. So it's going to be a challenge. I think we'll have to wait and see at least for a year or two how it shapes out.
Mr. Kumar, thank you so much for speaking to us about this. We really appreciate your time and that you make time. Yes, and that's where we are at with the Agentic AI conversation. I hope it has given you value and how to understand the difference between that and the normal artificial intelligence, even as the world keeps innovating to make life better with efficiency. Time now for a short break. We'll be back with more. Don't go too far. Welcome back. You're watching Techover on NTV, Africa's biggest tech conversation and show. Time now to know who our innovator this week is. Ladies and gentlemen, Startup of the Week. It's an interesting time for fintech founders. Artificial intelligence is fast disrupting many industries, and tech, fintech no less, is not an exception. But with a $4 billion diaspora remittance ticket value to Kenya, at least in 2024 alone, Tuma, a UK incorporated fintech, now bets big on East African market as its first entry into the growing African market.
The inspiration was born from basically being an African and having so many African friends who are in the diaspora. And so what has happened, most Africans in the diaspora, they use generic applications and other platforms that are not really fine-tuned to their needs as Africans. But basically what happens when in the diaspora, you just look for any applicant remittance platform that you can use. Now the thing about that is that sometimes the transfer fees, they have not really focused on what happens to Africa. So much often things like transfer fees are very exorbitant. Okay. Things like exchange rates, they're not as ideal. Yeah. And so the idea of coming up with Tuma is to make it so focused for the African community and to make it so easy for them, affordable and secure to send money from abroad back home to Africa. As of course, you know, Africans who are very community driven. Yeah. Of course, you want to send money to George today to go out for a drink. Yeah, and so the idea was to make it so African focused, look at the community aspect of it, look at the issues that they are facing, and make focus on a solution-based application that caters for their most major needs. Okay. Yeah, so that's how we came up with Tuma. And of course, as Tuma says, it's a Swahili word that simply says send.
With growing security threats, founders are faced with the dire need to fortify checks that alleviate user doubts of exposures to cyber attacks and fraud. The amount of work, effort, and research had Tuma deploy numerous innovations to meet this need and develop trust.
Honestly, because we wanted to make it so foolproof in terms of no fraudulent operations that can happen, security. I know people are very vital when it comes. It's very crucial to ensure security of funds through their remittance apps. It actually took us around 3 years to come up with it. Okay, that's solid. Yeah. Yeah, so we can assure our people, and now that we're getting the market, we can give them assurance that the application is very secure. We have done tests in every single way to ensure that it's not fraudulent or compliance issues that can come.
Tuma is presently available for iOS and Android application users. Linda revealed the business model is making revenue off of spreads for the cross-border remittances.
Many people in this space as users, they're very keen on exchange rates, even more than the application. They're very keen on fees and rates.
Yeah.
So in as much as it's not a feature per se, but to our users, they are very keen on those two things more than anything. So we can give them assurance that number one, we have 0 transaction fees.
Wow.
So that is catered for. Yeah. So and then secondly, we have very competitive, actually the best rates in the market. And of course, they can check that because I know such users, they like to compare different applications so that they can easily see.
The fintech recently got approval as a licensed payment system provider PSP by the Bank of Tanzania, permitting real-time payment processing for merchants, mobile wallet solutions, and float management for other fintechs. However, the Tanzanian market is relatively a cash-based economy, and we sought to understand just how Tuma plans to navigate this phenomenon.
In as much as in comparison to Kenya and to Uganda, of course, as much as we are comparing with them, as they say and what as you have mentioned, it's very cash focused. Okay. However, we're at an age where we are at a ripe age where mobile penetration is very high. And I think we have come in at a right time for the Tanzanian market, where everyone is now moving to the mobile platforms. It's much easier. Number one, it's very easy, it's very convenient, rather than just putting cash under a mattress, as you previously said. You want to have it on the phone, on the go. So we're at a ripe age, so I'm quite excited to get to the Tanzanian market because we're at that point where the market is ready for us.
And that's our startup this week. Great. That has been our innovator this week. Let's now finish off with the tech tip of the week and just end the show at that point.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's tech tip of the week. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a quick tip which will help you get rid of those annoying pop-up ads which usually appear on your phone. So the first thing you need to do is go to your phone settings, and then you need to go to connectivity options or a similar setting on your phone which will help you find the private DNS setting, this one right here. And then choose private DNS provider hostname, and then under custom name, write dns.adguard.com, then click save. Once you do this, this is going to help you get rid of most of the annoying ads which usually appear on your phone. That's it for this week. See you in the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure hosting this show today and telling you just about Agentic AI and how it's going to affect your daily life going forward. That's where we leave it at. Thank you so much for making time for us on Techover. Next week, same place, same time. I'm Brian Jojetieno. Stay techie and may tech live forever.